All right, looks like we're live. Welcome everybody back to another edition of Chairgatin. I'm your host Rattlesnake, coming at you live once again from the Snake Pit here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Sorry for the delay. We are getting to it. We just had a really exciting throwback weekend out in Darlington. We're gonna get to all that. I say we whenever my co-host eventually gets on. And then we will be doing a preview for Kansas. We got a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. What's up? It's Chairgatin coming at you live.
Hello, come right in. Rock, flag, and eagle.
All right. So here we are back after a great weekend in Darlington. Another great throwback race. I want to talk about the throwback race when Dakota finally gets on. I know we got pushed back a little bit. We got delayed an hour, and now we're waiting a little bit longer on our co-hosts. Go figure. Yeah, I got to give a big shout out to our number one fan, Nick, over here for this hat. I've been asking for it. I've been talking about it on the show for a while. I said, I want to be Suarez Amigo. I need some merch, but I want the most Mexican, most Amigo merch possible. And our buddy Nick sent me this, which just is absolutely perfect. This is what I was looking for. I mean, look at this hat. It is incredible. Got the Mexican flag with Suarez's name on it. You got his name, the 99. I love it. Big fan. And then, yeah, I do have some badass Sam Bass art. Thank you for noticing. That's what I do. Got that at Texas Motor Speedway, which, by the way, I wanted to discuss the All-Star race just for a minute. I can discuss this before Dakota comes on. If you notice, I'm rocking this dope 3 turkey shirt. And then I got the back. I don't know if you can see it, but it's Dale Sr. with the dead turkey that he just shot. It is a sweet shirt. And I just got sent a box of like 10 dope ass shirts like this, all different ones, like Dale shooting a deer, like just the coolest shirts, all NASCAR themed, all from Old Row. If you can't tell, I got this sweet flag right here. Raise hell, praise Dale. Old Row has a bunch of really cool NASCAR themed merch. I'm not sure how they get away with all of it, to be honest, because some of this stuff I'm pretty sure is licensed. I mean, this is like the number 3. I'm pretty sure Teresa, if she's watching this podcast, is currently having an aneurysm. But they have really cool shit, and we've been working with them for a little bit now. We're going to help promote some of their stuff. Hopefully, y'all check it out. We don't have any kind of affiliate link right now. We're just kind of starting up a new partnership, but highly recommend go checking out Old Row. They have some of the coolest NASCAR themed merch I can find anywhere, to be honest. So really happy to be working with them on doing this stuff. And I also wanted to bring up, if you follow our Twitter, you've probably already seen this, Texas Motor Speedway All-Star Race in 2 weeks. Look, Texas Motor Speedway, we get it. Nobody likes the racing that happens on Texas Motor Speedway. But as a Texan, somebody that has grown up in Texas, I can tell you going to Texas Motor Speedway is one of the most fun races to go to. It's always a blast. It's great atmosphere, really good people, really good tailgating. It's a lot of fun. And you actually enjoy the race at Texas Motor Speedway, which you don't do from watching it at home. So if you're in the vicinity, anywhere close enough, and you can make this all-star race, Old Row is throwing an infield party. You get infield passes. It's BYOB. They have Blake Shelton playing. I should probably double check that, make sure that's actually correct. They have some country music singer playing, and I think it's Blake Shelton. Anyway, it's going to be a blast. They're going big. You know it's going to be a party, and I figured our followers would love to hear about this. We don't get any kickback on this. This is just me doing an organic promotion because I like to see that kind of stuff in NASCAR. I like to see companies getting involved and wanting to throw parties in infields, especially at tracks like Texas, that are a lot more fun to actually attend races. So if you are going to go to Texas for the All-Star race in 2 weeks, check it out. Their tickets are on sale now for this pit party. It is going to be a blast, and I can't believe this is like the first Texas race I'm going to miss in years. And of course, it's when we're doing this joint promotion with this pit party for Old Row. It looks like a hell of a good time. We're also going to be doing a lot of giveaways with Old Row because of all this merch they sent us. We got a lot of stuff to give away. We're going to be giving away like Dale Earnhardt shirts like these, the Drive Fast Eat Ass shirts that they're like famous for. Raise Hell, Praise Dale, all that stuff. We're going to be doing a shit ton of giveaways here in the near future. Kind of wanted to do a live giveaway on this episode, but to be honest, I didn't really plan it out, and I forgot the box in my bedroom. So maybe we'll do a live giveaway. Stay tuned in on this episode, and you might win a shirt or a hat. I mean, we got stickers, fanny packs, hats, t-shirts, maybe a flag. There's a lot of shit that I got to give away. So really, really excited to be doing this joint venture with Old Row. It's a great company, really cool guys, and glad that they're getting more involved in NASCAR. Also, obviously, got to give a huge shout out to our number one partner, Yeats, yeatsofficial.com. Look at these. Dalton Good's favorite pair right there. And then these sick shades that I've been rocking like nonstop. 10% off discount code Chairgatin, yeatsofficial.com. Highly recommend checking it out. Sorry, just checking to see if my co-host is getting on anytime soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he will be getting on soon. So yeah, obviously check out Old Row, check out the merch that they're selling. And if you are going to make it to Texas Motor Speedway for the All-Star race, please, please, please look into that pit party. Like I said, no affiliate links. There's nothing I can like give you more than that. I just think it sounds like a good fucking time. And these are really cool people, and we should help support companies that are supporting us and our community. Hell yeah, Nick. Well, what kind of pair did you order? That's great. I love that you ordered your second pair, but what pair? And hopefully you use that Chairgatin 10% off discount code, because that not only helps you, but it helps us. That one we actually do get we do get a kickback on, but it's worth it because look how stellar you look. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I got my Mexican hat, my Daniel Suarez Amigo hat. I got these sick Yeats. I'm looking fresh as hell. I got the turkey number 3. Dakota's getting the turkey or the deer number 3 shirt. So we're going to be looking real fresh at the next race that we go to. Definitely going to be doing some more giveaways then. The everydays. Okay, Nick just ordered the everydays and ordering the red Venoms. Hell yeah, Nick. Nick, when you get to Myrtle and we link up, hope to see you in one of those shades because you'll be looking good. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That is my wife telling me how good I look. There you go. Only when it's on the podcast. No, just kidding. All right, so once Dakota gets on, I definitely want to start getting into all the nitty-gritty of Darlington because I think me and Dakota mostly agree on most of it. There's a few things specifically at the end that I think we don't quite agree on 100%, but it's going to be a really fun conversation whenever he gets on. He is late because he needed Chick-fil-A. So maybe he can tell us all about his exciting visit to Chick-fil-A since that's what made him late. Yeah, it was a good race, honestly. I mean, I hate to bring it down before Dakota gets here, but he is taking way too long. Yeah, it was a great race. I said in the last episode that I was as excited about this race as any other one on the schedule, just because I love Darlington races, even if I can't go to them, which is rare because I do like to go to Darlington for every single race. It was Mother's Day, and it was my wife's first Mother's Day. Felt it was best to spend it with her at home. She probably begs to differ because she had to spend it with me at home. But it was her first Mother's Day, so very exciting stuff. I will be going to the Southern 500, though, later this year. What is that? September. Oh, yeah, that's over my birthday. That's honestly, when it comes to Darlington, that's the best one. I mean, it's really cool getting to see all the throwback paint schemes and the people dressing up to do all the throwback stuff. They have a lot of throwback events, which I'll probably talk about. If you watched the last episode, I was actually at Darlington with Shitty Rob. Shout out to Shitty Rob and Shitty Coolers, another brand that does some cool stuff with us. I was at the track going to events. So it is cool that Darlington puts on like a lot of throwback events and a lot of events during the week. But if I had to choose like what Darlington race I'm going to go to, the throwback week or Southern 500, I'm taking Southern 500 under the lights. That's the quintessential Darlington. Really, me and Dakota, I think both agree on this. Darlington should probably just have the one race. It should be the Southern 500 under the lights with the throwback paint schemes. That was peak Darlington when we had that. That was awesome. It's cool that there's two races there because the community loves NASCAR around this part of the country. I know like North Carolina worships NASCAR, but I mean, South Carolina likes it a lot. I mean, they might like it more at this point. South Carolina people love NASCAR. And so the community always comes out, supports the races a lot, and they can sell that crowd out. It looked like the crowd was dwindling down a little bit there after like stage 2. I noticed. I don't know if anybody else did on TV. It looked like the crowd was shrinking, especially around like turn 4 right there, right before the start finish. It was really starting to shrink. And I noticed it. I don't know if y'all did, but I think a lot of that had to do with the weather. That was one kind of nice thing that my wife also mentioned when we were sitting there watching it from the comfort of our couch with a screaming, crying baby, was it is like uncomfortably cold outside, especially for this time of the year. It was jacket weather. I mean, you couldn't, like, we always wear t-shirts around here. You had to put on a jacket to be comfortable outside. And even then it was cold. So I think the weather actually might have had something to do with the shrinking fan base. But yeah, I mean, Darlington, they can have 2 races because the community around here loves it. They'll sell out. They'll sell the tickets. It's not a huge, track. They don't have a lot of grandstands, but what they do have available, people will fill up. Just because, like I said, they love NASCAR around here. Here's this stupid homeless asshole that's trying to come on the show.
Oh, how the turntables. Does it look better if I do it like that?
What are you doing? Are you trying to like do it? What is that? Interrogation?
Let her go.
Oh,
Dude,
that's the worst lighting I've ever seen.
I literally just came in here. I should probably turn the room on. I grabbed Chick-fil-A. I ran in here. I like connected the internet. I was like, go, 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 go.
I told them you'd be coming in with Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
I said the reason he's running late is because of Chick-fil-A.
Let me turn the light on or something.
Jesus Christ.
Does that help, Benny?
All right. What's Nick got to say? Glad it didn't affect the racing. Yeah, that is something that me and Nick were texting about. Was because Nick lives not too far away from Darlington as well, just pretty much the same distance, but the opposite direction into North Carolina. And me and Nick were both kind of texting about the cold weather and if it would affect the racing in a negative way.
It was like chilly Sunday down here, and I messaged friends that were at the race, and they were like, "It's hoodie weather."
Dude, it was cold. Like me and Samantha, when we left dinner, we were like freezing running back to the car, and we were like, it's kind of like, look, I would have rather, it's always good to be at the race, but when it's shitty weather, you're kind of like, I could sit on my couch.
it was like a cold front came through this weekend through the southeast, and
yeah,
it felt really good, but damn it, like evening, like nighttime is chilly.
Right. It got cold. And I was just saying that before you came on, was the crowd looked packed at the beginning. And if you noticed about after like stage 2,
I noticed it died off.
Turn 4, it was really looking, and I was just telling the crowd, anybody that's not from around here, it got like uncomfortably cold. And I think that was probably part of it.
Weird, freakish May cold front.
Terrible. I hate it. Back in Austin, it's like 104 degrees. So.
Yeah, it felt great here today.
I'm
sorry I'm late. Welcome to meet you up. That is a badass fucking flag. Where'd you
like that?
Where'd you get that?
Oh, you already missed it. I did the whole spiel.
God damn it.
Well, I mean, it's that or me just dive into the race without you. I figured that was probably a better use of my time.
It's totally my fault, and I accept full responsibility.
And Dakota, I don't even know if you've. Oh shit! I was gonna try to pick.
I'm just glad you're back, mi amigo.
Look, do you see that shirt?
Oh my god, you're a full-fledged repping, dude. That's badass, dude.
Dude, this shirt is sick. I'm actually like stoked, and all the shirts are dope. I was just giving Old Row like the best shout out. I was like, honestly, we're not getting kickbacks. We don't have affiliate links. They sent us some stuff to help promote their NASCAR merch. and I just want to promote it because it is cool as shit.
Real recognize real.
Exactly.
That's what goes on here is people recognize that, your boys over here are doing it big. And we're just OG NASCAR fans loving NASCAR.
And we love that cool companies want to rep NASCAR shit also. Like, that's the main thing. Is like, it's a cool company and they're interested in selling NASCAR merch. They're throwing the NASCAR party at Texas Motor Speedway. They're clearly interested in the NASCAR community. And we just like to be part of that. And I also gave Nick the huge shout out for the fucking sweet
He has totally come through.
Amigo hat. Look at that.
Yeah, I don't even know if how much you and Nick have talked, but me and him are in this almost the same career field.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he works with electricity and I work with electricity.
Oh, so you're both white trash.
Yeah, poor white trash.
Yeah, right. Y'all probably got more money than I do.
Yeah, right. I've seen that house.
Everyone that went to college, I think our age, was like, yeah, shit, I should have been an electrician.
Ronnie said he's going to come in my room here in a minute.
Of course he is.
See if Ronnie comes through.
No, I love Ronnie. I want him in.
I know. He's like, leave your door unlocked.
All right, let's get into the nitty gritty. Yeah. I want to talk about this race. I already did all the shout outs. Old Row, if you weren't watching Old Row, we love you. If y'all are going to Texas Motor Speedway for the All-Star race, which I highly recommend because it's way better than watching it on TV, I promise. Texas Motor Speedway is a great race to attend. Old Row is throwing the pit party, get the infield pass. It's BYOB. I mean, it's sick. They have live concerts going on.
Definitely check them out if you have.
I mean, if you're in the vicinity, if you can drive to this race, that would be what I'd be doing because that would be a lot of fun. So definitely check them out and check out their sweet merch. Dakota, if you want, I mean, we could do a live give. Oh, that's Nick's comment. What sauce?
Yeah. I'm really trying to scarf down dinner and catch up.
Everybody knows that the sriracha sauce is the best from Chick-fil-A.
Oof. I was in a hurry. I was like, put it in the fucking bag.
Put it in the fucking bag.
Yeah, I ran out of there.
Dakota, what are you thinking? Should we do a live giveaway on this episode?
Yeah, I mean, who else in the comments?
I got so much shit to give away. I mean, we have a decent amount of people watching, but Nick is mostly if we did a live giveaway, Nick would win. Essentially, do you want to give Nick something? It's the question.
Yes.
All right.
But we'll throw it as a live giveaway, and we'll pick a winner.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna do something in the comments whenever we think about what we're going to do for the live giveaway. We'll have to think of a question that they have to answer in the comments, and I'll just kind of grab the box of merch and pick out something to give you. I mean, we have so much shit to give away. And also, Dakota, I'm sending your box tomorrow.
I'm so excited.
It's sweet. It's sweet merch.
I already loved the Old Row, but now I feel less familiar.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I was already a fan. I mean, I've been following them since college because I was in a fraternity and stuff. So Old Row was the spot that we've go to for all that.
That's big.
But now it's
I was telling Ronnie, I was like, dude, man, I get them doing the Texas spill, but I was like, God, I wish it was close. If it was a local race,
I know, and not Texas.
I would make that happen.
I think they're out of Texas, so that makes sense for them. But yeah. And of course, it's the first year that I leave Texas.
Yeah.
Because they immediately were like, well, are you going to come out? They were going to, give me the tickets to go and just go for free probably. And of course I'm like, dude, this is the first time I'm not going to be going.
We need to get them to revamp and do something for Bristol night race.
So that I was talking to them about that also. Cause I was like, are y'all going to go to other races? And they haven't, I guess they don't know yet, but hopefully they're going to go to something else and we can meet up. But Darlington, baby. I hate I wasn't there. Just watching the weekend's activities, I was like, God, I should be there. They had a lot of cool activities going on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, though it sucks that cold front came in. But all right. First, let's do a deep. What do you want to talk about? You want to recap the whole race, or do you want to talk about the concept of the throwback week?
Ooh. Let's talk about the whole race and do the throwback idea at the end.
Yep. Okay. Go.
So, yeah, there was some good racing. There was a truck race and an Xfinity race. They were all good. They were fun. Good racing. We don't really talk about that on this show.
I mean, we can start if you want. I just,
you know,
we
John
can
Hunter,
barely talk about cup shit for an hour.
We can barely talk about how John Hunter was almost decapitated on the start finish line by somebody throwing something. Hence the marker of like, hey, why are we still doing start finish line interviews?
Right.
The keynote right here, some crazy fan threw something.
It was a beer, right?
Fucking head. It was some large bottle. I don't know if it was a big tall.
I think it was like a full, probably unopened beer because it was like heavy when it hit.
Oh,
which, if that hits you,
like 5 feet from his fucking head.
Right. If that hits you, that's knocking you out.
No, yeah. Like it wasn't like, oh man, that would have hurt. Like that would have clocked his ass.
No, yeah, he probably would have got knocked out. Yeah.
Yeah, Jamie Little was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, right?
So that's about all we have to take away from the truck race. It was pretty good. City race was good. Gator got it done. Justin Allgaier, man, that boy don't miss at Darlington. That Dale Earnhardt throwback was great.
Yep.
Noah G in second. It just seems like, JRM is clocking them off right now.
Right.
They can't be touched. It's I think all four drivers, no, all three of four drivers have won the last 3 races. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
For being Dega, Dover, Darlington. Like
right? Yeah, just completely different. Right.
So then we get the cup race. Holy smokes. Joey Logano got the pole. Ford showed some speed a little bit. I think Toyota's really showed up in this race. It seemed like everybody kind of got a taste of the lead.
I was going to say, it seemed like just about every manufacturer was getting up there.
Yeah, everybody was fast. Or like some guys more fast than others, but there were some comers and goers. A lot of guys I was like, yeah, I expected them to be up front. And a lot of guys I was like, dude, how are they not up front?
Well, also, pretty much everybody that I thought was going to be a contender for this race got knocked out. I mean, there was like Ross Chastain, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch.
I'm fucking done betting. I was talking to
right?
LTC. Every time I fucking make a lineup that there at least one of them, like they all fucking wreck. Like dude, every guy I bet on fucking wrecks.
I think I was talking to Samantha about like who would win. And I was like, well, here's like the names of people you should be watching. I think I included Joey Logano also, to be fair. But I said like Ross Chastain, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch. And just one by one.
Yeah.
Getting like knocked out. I'm like, Jesus. All right, never mind. Just don't listen to anything.
Just forget everything I said.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and you know what? I did mention Tyler Reddick. And he actually
our boy Red Dog. Yeah. Well, for the first half of the race, I was like, dude, what the fuck? Reddick was in like 15. And I was like, dude, I expected better than this. But it's a long race. A lot of people too. What always kills me is, commercials come on and you get on Twitter, you get on Instagram, and you're like, oh, bored on commercials. And people are like, oh my God, our day is done. Or, oh, I can't believe that they suck in this race.
And like stage 2 or something.
It's not even halfway, bro.
Yeah, it's like the beginning of stage 2.
Dalton
and they're like
the worst of this. Dalton will always be like, it's over. Kyle sucks. I can't fire Ben Bashore. I'm like, dude, it's lap 87.
You know who was a great example? Austin Dillon. Where did you see him all day? Nowhere. He finished 9th.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great example of like, I mean, maybe I just know how this works better because as an Austin Dillon fan, that's just how he is. He'll be in 30th like the whole race, and the next thing you know, he's finishing top 10, and you're like, how did he do that? So yeah, you can't just overreact in like stage 2. Even if your guy gets caught up in some shit, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, like betting on Kyle Busch, that just nothing, freak accident, nothing he could do right there. Is Brad Keselowski just freaking forgets how to drive, 6 cars in the wall. And
yeah, that sucks.
And it was the weirdest thing because when Kyle Busch hit him, it was just like they just touched. What up, Smoke Carbon?
What's up?
Is like when Kyle Busch in the 6th hit, it looked like Kyle barely hit him, and then his wheel was.
Okay. So I wanted to mention this. One, people were getting loose like fucking crazy.
Dude, I loved it.
I know, no, that was cool. Yeah, that was cool because it was just like calamity. Yeah. And 2, if you got touched, it seemed like your day was done.
Yeah.
It was wild. I mean,
these cars have been pretty brutal all season, but then, I mean, they're maybe getting ran through the gauntlet here at Darlington, Lady in Black, too tough.
It seemed like it was always axle problems. Like if they got just touched.
I think it's like axle linkage. Like if they slap the wall super hard, shit just breaks underneath.
Yeah, because they'd be driving back and one wheel's like this. Like, and I'm like, well, that's. And it seems like they didn't get touched. And by the way, we got to talk about Kyle Busch just getting out of his car, right?
Oh, yeah. So we'll just back up and punt. I mean, there was some good ass racing going on, and then we started kind of stacking up the field. Brad Keselowski loses talent and wrecks into the wall, takes out
loses talent.
And Kyle Busch just instead of last year, remember the whole debacle where he like slammed through the cones and
went right through.
He got right there and just stopped. Got out of the car and said deuces, dude.
Yep.
It was good. Like I loved it just for the drama, but it was almost like here's Kyle. Kyle's back. You know, he's still same old Kyle down in there.
We will also be at the Southern 500.
Southern 500, we're running it. That is a given.
Yeah, that's what I said before you got on. I was like, look, I like Darlington. I would love to go to every Darlington race, but if you had to give me like two options, you go to Throwback or Southern 500. I'm taking Southern 500 every day, all day, under the lights. I mean, I love seeing the Throwback schemes, but it's just like, yeah, Southern 500 is one of my favorite races. So anyway,
most definitely. But Kyle Busch
decides to just park it and get out.
Leaves the car on pit road. I remember Kevin's scanner was like, well, pit road's still closed because 18 cars are sitting in the middle of pit road.
Right. That was the only thing that I was like, that's kind of a dick move that they had to like keep it closed just because Kyle parked it.
Yeah,
like,
but then I was also like, yeah, Kyle Busch.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, if you're affecting other people's day, that's kind of a dick move, but it's Kyle Busch. What are you going to do? I mean, at the end of the day, he's definitely grown on me. I don't get annoyed with his antics as much as I used to. But something I did want to point out that I noticed this race, I don't know if you did. Bubba Wallace, he got a post-race interview, right?
Did he?
Yeah. Well, okay. So it was after he wrecked. I guess it wasn't post-race. But he wrecked like at the end of the race, right? That was like towards stage 3.
Coming up after that, Truex loses talent and spins off the bottom. Everybody's getting loose off of 2, man.
Because Bubba was in the big one.
Truex gets split 3 wide by like Kevin Harvick and Eric Jones or somebody.
Yeah. And he just gets loose.
And he gets loose and they stack up behind him and accordion effect. It was like a little mini Dega Darlington wreck.
Seriously.
9 cars wrecked.
It was crazy.
The 43, the 11, the 45, the 40, freaking 23.
I don't know if this messed with you at all today, but every time I saw Kurt, I thought it was Bubba because it was the McDonald's paint scheme.
Yeah, it was weird seeing Kurt.
Because they wrecked right next to each other, and I see the McDonald's paint scheme, and it's happening like that because they're wrecking. I see the McDonald's paint scheme, and I go, ooh, Bubba wrecked. And then right in front of him, 23 comes, and I was like, oh, shit, no, wait, that's Bubba.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a bad day for Toyota. It was a bad day to be a Toyota in that wreck.
Right.
And then Bubba gets out and like stomps off over the infield wall and like starts walking into the infield.
Yeah, because he just kind of parked it and walked.
And I was like, hey, hold on a second, buddy. Where are you going?
He walked over the wall, and he was so pissed off during those interviews. And then they grabbed him for a second interview. I don't know if you saw that. And he made like the most pissed off face. And I was just like, dude, he is a lot like young Kyle Busch.
Just snooty.
His attitude kind of reminds me. He gets really... like I don't know, he kind of acts like a crybaby, honestly. He storms off. Look, it was nobody's fault. Somebody got loose and it was a huge wreck. You were one of like 5 dudes to be involved. All right.
It's not.
And then he's like, he doesn't have anybody to blame it on, so he blames it on the racing gods. And I'm like, you just have to make things up when you don't have another driver to blame something on. And it just irritated me. And I was like, dude, I've been trying to like you this season because I think you're doing pretty well. And then he does shit like that. And I'm like,
it makes it hard, man.
Oh, that's right. That's why I fucking hated you this whole time. I'm not a racist. I just don't like you. And that's what
he ran good inside. Like he battled like between 8th and 12th right there.
But that's what I'm saying. He's been impressing me on the track. That's why I'm like trying to give him more and more chances.
And then he gets taken out in a stupid wreck. And then it's like, oh yeah, Bubba.
And they interview Kurt right after, and he's just like, "Yeah, I mean, shit happens. It sucks. Like, in our day." And I was like, "That's such a better
champion and old Bubba."
Right. I was like, "That's such a better way." And look, Bubba's still young. You know, like I said, he reminds me of a young Kyle Busch in his attitude. And I fucking hated Kyle Busch then, and I kind of like him now. So things could definitely change. But I saw that interview, and I was like, "Dude, how do people like this guy?" Like, I just don't get it.
I don't think it has anything to do with what he does on the track.
Yeah, I mean, clearly.
But Bubba gives a crazy interview. There was a big wreck, took a bunch of hitters out there. Hamlin, who I literally was like, when Chastain battles Hamlin for the lead on a restart, spins on himself on the bump out of 2 and takes himself out. I literally thought Ross had the car to beat. I was like,
definitely. Yeah.
Ross looks so good. That throwback looks so good. And
so hot right now.
Man, he's so hot right now. And Ross had the car to beat, and then he takes himself out, and I was like, no, Ross. Like,
I know.
I hated it. But then I was like, wow, he just gave Hamlin this dub. Like, Hamlin just got a coast from here. Hamlin gets a shitty pit stop or is the way the cycle went with caution or whatever. He gets my wreck 18th, gets in that wreck, and his day's done. And then I was like, this just opened the ballpark for I don't know who's going to win this thing. Maddie whine all the time, crying about finishing second.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Bubba's kind of like
Matty D's greatness wore off real quick.
Yeah, people loved Matty D, and then
I was all on Matty D train until like the 8th.
Until they put microphones in front of his face, and then he said, "Oh wait, I don't like this guy."
Yeah.
The second he started talking, and you had to listen, you were like, "Oh, never mind."
That's enough of that. That's enough of that. But they really opened up the top 5 and top 10 right there, where I was like, dude, I have no idea like how this thing's going to shake out. And then we get a late race restart, and Willie B was up in the top 10 all day,
right?
And I think Joey had a stout car. A couple cars were better than him, but then them cars got taken out, and it was like it was in his lap. But Willie B gives a hell on a restart, gets a little loose off 2 like guys did all day, kind of roughs up Joey Logano straight into the wall. Joey fights back. Willie B's like 20 lengths out there. There's like 10 to go. Joey Logano keeps reeling him in. I'm watching Reddick in third because I'm like, dude, if Joey catches him and they get together.
That's immediately what I was saying too.
I was watching Reddick like, come on, Reddick.
I was telling Samantha that. I was like cheering for Joey, and I'm like, I don't want Joey to win. Reddick's right behind him. I was that would open it up for him.
Yeah. I was like, if Joey gets to Byron, it's going to get interesting.
Yeah.
And
I don't know what happened to Reddick though. Did he just like get a little loose?
Think he really
something?
had the car. Like he had a good car. He didn't keep up with
Joey at all.
No, Joey had a better car.
Okay.
And Reddick was just like, I think, just happy to end up second.
Just because next thing I knew, it was like Reddick's right behind Joey for quite a while, and they're kind of running together. And I'm like, okay, let's see if they can get up to Willie B. And then kind of next thing I know, they pan back. Joey's like, what would I say? Like cut the distance in half essentially. And Reddick's still like way back where he was. And I'm like, did he slip up? Like what happened there?
I just think he couldn't keep up.
So
that was the thing.
Joey was definitely
even the broadcast, they were like, Willie B has got it wrapped up. But that was, a tale told too soon.
Yeah. Because Bill Elliott, when he was talking, he was like, yeah, it's over, which by the way was hilarious, and we'll get into the
we'll get into that in a minute.
But that was so funny when he was like, we got it wrapped up, and Mike Joyce like, you gotta at least pretend. He was like, oh man, he's cut it down into half a car length now.
Yeah. So Joey runs down. Well, I was like, he's gonna catch him. Like he's running him down, he's gonna catch him. I was like, what's he gonna do when he catches him? Like, I thought it was going to get interesting. I didn't think he was going to abruptly just send him.
He pulled the Joey.
So he shipped him.
I think Nick's spot on. If you know NASCAR, you knew what Joey was going to do when he got to Willie.
Yeah. And well, I thought he was like, I was like, he's gonna bump him, but I didn't think he was going to be like, bye. He catches Willie B into 3, and it really, you can see Willie B like let off. Like
that was weird.
And Joey's like, nope, not today, bud. And just sends and like gives them the classic bump and run. To me, in my opinion, gives them a classic bump and run. And it's a tight corner. It's 3 and 4 Darlington. I think it's a classic bump and run, but then it accidentally kind of sends Willie B straight into the fucking wall. That's kind of how it goes.
That is one thing. I know we didn't 100% agree on this. That is one thing, though, that when we were texting about it, I think maybe I thought initially the same thing you said was, I don't know if he meant to actually fully send him like that. It seemed like when he was coming in, I agreed. I was like, oh, he's just going to do a bump and run. And even when he made contact, it was like, oh, that's not bad. But the next thing you see is Willie B just going up into the wall. And so I think you might be right. We saw guys getting loose all night on this track. There's a good chance that Joey didn't mean to like really just punt him into the wall. There's a good chance
the onboard video. It looks like he just kind of comes in there and squares up and bumps him, but Byron's like, "Oh shit!" And like,
and these cars have been getting loose easy, so I think that was it. It was just like a bump and run is going to cause somebody to get loose.
And I think another thing is these cars on older surfaces, older tracks it's just fucking great racing.
Oh, so good,
dude,
it's so good.
Right there where God, who was it? It was the fucking. I think it was the 24 and 8 or 22 battled hard, but who battled for like 3 laps straight? Was it the 1 and the 9? No, that was last week. It was the one. It was the one in Denny Hamlin.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Their battle.
Before he wrecked, like before that, they battled back and forth for like fucking 3 laps.
Yep.
Side by side, and I was like, dude, this is fucking racing. This is incredible. Like, this is great. I mean, Chastain killed it, but and then we get a crazy ass finish. Winner be what you may. I'm all about a bump and run. I don't even care. You like the guy or you don't like the guy. No, even if Joey was sending Kevin, I was all for that. Like, I was all about it.
You would be cool if that was Joey dumping Kevin for the win.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
what's Kevin's last win?
Bristol 2020.
And you'd be okay if Kevin was coming around.
No, I'd be irate at the time.
Thank you.
But what I'm saying is I would get it. Like, I would totally understand.
All right. Well, you have to admit that you would be livid, though.
Yeah.
And that's been my thing the whole time is, like, if I'm a Willie B fan, I am pissed. If I'm a Joey fan, I'm loving this.
Joey's automatically, like, fucking ground zero.
Right. But as just a race fan that doesn't care about either of those drivers, it was exciting.
I loved it.
To watch.
Well, and another thing with Joey is Joey's got the balls to do it. We've seen him rough guys up before. We've seen him do what it takes to get the win.
Well, that's kind of his style. I mean,
that's what I want in a favorite driver.
Well, that's how he's always been, and that's why drivers used to hate him. Also,
a little bit of a bad boy before he got old was like, that's what I like. I want a guy that's not gonna be scared to put the bumper to a guy. I want a guy that's not afraid to shove his nose in there. And Joey's that guy, dude.
I will say after watching,
if Willie B catches Joey, he makes that move. Absolutely not.
I know, and you know how much more I'd respect Willie B if he did it.
Yes.
If he goes back and I will write off everything I've said bad about Willie B and be like, nah, that dude's badass. Respect.
You know how many guys would have caught Willie B right there and never done anything?
Yeah, that's true.
Kyle Larson last year to Denny Hamlin.
Yep.
He Hail Married it into the fence.
Kyle Busch probably would. Joey probably would. There's only a handful of drivers that I would be like, nah, they'll probably put him into the wall. But most of them, you're right. They probably would have like let off or something. My whole thing is, especially after watching the replay that NASCAR put up, which you were just talking about, when you get to watch both point of view. Initially, I was like, nah, Joey got him back way too hard for that little tiny thing that Willie B did. And then I rewatched it, I'm like, oh shit, Willie B actually seemed like worse than Joey's.
Yeah.
So scratch that. My whole thing about this, though, is I do think at the end of the day, and this is nitpicking, right? The race would have been almost perfect if Joey didn't put him in the wall and just raced him side by side, and we get like a side by side finish. That would have been just.
Oh, that would have been amazing. A Ricky Craven, Kurt Busch finish. Yeah, yes, that would have been fucking awesome.
That's what I said. I'm nitpicking. I understand that that's like asking too much, but I'm just the argument against doing the bump and run would be it would be badass to see them just battling it out for the win.
Yeah, and I have like a bunch of different stances on this because when you watch the onboard, imagine you're Joey Logano. You're racing hard for the restart that's like fucking 15 to go, whatever. Yeah. What the frick? Yeah. So you're racing, and you can't really see to your left, but all of a sudden 24 comes up and uses you up and doors you into the wall.
Right.
He doors you, and you slap the wall, and you're going down the backstretch. Are you immediately furious? Are you pissed off? Are you seeing red? And the 24 is just taking off, getting distance.
Yeah, and how many laps was left there? What was that, like 20 laps to go or something like that?
Dude, I think it was less than that. It was like 14 to go.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. So it was important time. But I will say, just like I'm giving Joey a little bit of benefit of the doubt that I don't think he was trying to punt him. I don't think Willie was trying to run Logano.
No, I think Willie B was trying to catch his car and just happens to slap him. Damn, happens to slap him. Joey happens to slap the wall. But in Joey's helmet at that time, he just sees the 24 hit him and he hits the wall. So I imagine he's seeing fucking red right there. And then all of a sudden he's like, if I catch that fucking 24, he's fucking dead. That's all I can imagine. Joey is like, I'm going to fucking kill him.
And also, did you see Jeff Gordon's take on this whole thing?
Yeah, he was like, oh, yeah.
I like quote tweeted it because I was like, I think I agree with like everything Jeff said about the situation. He was like, look, I wasn't in the car, man. Like, Joey made the call, like, that he thought was right. Like, obviously, he's not happy because his team lost or didn't win, but He wasn't like, oh, he's a stupid asshole that can't win. And Jeff was just like, yeah, it happens. What up, boy?
Hey,
you like my hat?
Rattlesnake Man.
Look
at you. Look at you, pimping.
Oh, dude, Ronnie is sliding in for the kill.
So like
I was saying, he's a mantis. You should see him feed. So Joey's seeing red. I can't imagine when he catches William Byron, he's not like, I'm gonna fucking kill him.
And you know what the best part is he was thinking about that like the whole race, and he was like catching him and going like, I'm gonna even if he was like, I'm not purposely gonna punt him, he was like, nah, I'm gonna do a bump and run. Like, I'm gonna get him back a little bit for that.
Yeah.
Which I don't hate.
Which it just seems like when you watch Joey's onboard, it seems like a classic bump and run. The fact that Byron hits the wall and blows tires and finishes 13th, I think was just insult to injury. It didn't seem like he really meant to fuck his day up that bad, but it seemed like he was like, I'm gonna move him.
Yeah. Right.
Which
yeah.
I loved every bit of it. I know I would have loved a side-by-side finish, race it out, la-di-da. But also, how many guys would we have seen run in there and not done
that? That's true. That is a good point. It's like not everybody's going to do a bump and run, so maybe you got to appreciate when that happens also.
I've bitched at Ronnie all day at work today about it. And Ronnie was like, well, it wasn't that like what NASCAR was built on? Like,
when Dale Earnhardt dumped somebody, everybody was like, oh, shit, yeah. That's what Dale does, Yeah.
Although I will say I did see a lot of, I think it was Colton talking about this, which I know you two never see eye to eye on anything.
Very rarely, me and Colton agree on stuff, but when we do, it's like.
But Colton was talking about like on Twitter, he was, a lot of people were bringing up Dale Earnhardt, and it's like, well, this is what Dale used to do. And Colton's like, look, a lot of people didn't like Dale. Like, and I actually do agree with that.
Well, like the Terry Labonte spin, everybody booed him.
Right. And I was like, that's actually a good point. You can go back and listen to stuff, and people boo Dale Earnhardt. Like, people loved Bill Elliott and loved Jeff Gordon, and those groups hated Dale Earnhardt or Rusty Wallace. Like, a lot of these groups actually hated Dale Earnhardt. Now everybody talks about him like he's, Jesus, and like everybody loved him. But it's like, here's the deal is like, he was the intimidator. He was kind of the villain on the track. Like, a lot of people didn't like him.
Well, Joey got boos in his
right. Exactly. So it's like, all's fair and fair. People are going to boo him, but it is what it is.
I love Joey's interview on the start finish line. He goes, yeah, you don't hit me and not get paid back. That's how that works. I was like,
that's not what he said.
What did he say?
He said, yeah, you don't hit me, you don't get paid back.
Oh my God. No, yeah, either way, I love how he was like, yeah, that's how that works, bitch. He could have put a bitch on there and been icing on top.
Yeah, and the thing is, Willie's post-race interview, people were really hyping up because they're like, yeah, get him. But I was like,
called him an idiot.
I was like, dude, I can see Joey standing right behind him. Why doesn't he just turn
do
around?
Something about it.
Just turn around and tell him that to his face. You don't have to punch him. I'm not saying every driver needs to go out and get into a fight. Turn around and just kind of put a finger in his chest and be like, hey, motherfucker, like, next time I see you on the track, I'm getting you back. That's all I need.
I would have totally agreed with your take when you were like, even if he would have hot the wall and went and got in his face, not even fighting, just like said something.
Yeah.
I would respect that so much more and be like, he's a son of a bitch.
Right, exactly. Just go say some shit. I just want to see you kind of get in his face and say, like, next time we come around, you're getting this fucking back. That alone, I would have been like, all right, that's kind of cool, Willie. Like, I'm glad you stood up for yourself. But he just went to the camera and was like, he can only win that way. And then
they're like, Jeff Gordon, what do you think about this? I was like,
and Jeff's just like, I don't know. I wasn't in the car.
Yeah.
Which is a great answer. He's like, I wasn't in the car. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what next.
I think it was a great race though, man.
Joey owns it and can appreciate that. Yeah, that's true. Like, I appreciate that he's not trying to hide it. He's like, I mean, I did what I did.
Hey, you know how Joey doesn't finish second? He moves William Byron.
Right. Yeah. I'm still not going to be a Joey fan. Like I said, Kyle Busch has grown on me a lot. Joey still has not. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's that nasally voice I just can't stand. But
I like Joey and Kyle more than most of the Hendrick drivers.
More than most of the. Yeah. You know what? I might lean that way as well because at least there's some personality there.
At least they got attitude. Right. They'll use the bumper. They get pissed off. They're not afraid to show it.
Yeah. They
I'll take
are
that.
they are a bit older though. They've been around for longer. So, maybe these younger guys are gonna grow into it because we used to fucking hate both those drivers.
Yeah.
That's a great comment.
That is like April Fool's biggest fucking line.
No, Dakota is a huge Chase Elliott fan. He always has been, always will be.
Ronnie
I
likes
remember
Chase.
I remember one time when Dakota got drunk with me and he was like, "Look, I haven't told anybody this, but I'd leave my wife for Chase Elliott."
Oh my god.
That's how much Dakota loves Chase
He lets
Elliott.
you come back on the show, and this is how you act.
Yeah. So all in all,
I
in
think it was
my
a great
opinion,
race.
great race. I'm always happy with Darlington. Rarely am I disappointed with Darlington, and I knew it was going to be a good race, and it was. So,
Do you remember who your picks were?
probably guys that got wrecked.
Mine was the 5 and the 17.
You know what? Mine was Ross because I finally picked Ross, and I was like, "All right, I'm done not picking Ross. He wins every."
I picked the 5, and he fucking blew up.
Yeah, exactly. I finally pick him, and that happens, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" My sleeper pick. I feel like I didn't pick Reddick because I pick him a lot for a sleeper. Maybe I did pick Reddick. I don't know. Somebody like that. I can't even remember. Well, because I didn't write him down because the last episode I was actually
I haven't written down at the house. We'll revamp next week.
Yeah. Either way, I bet it was really bad.
Yes. However, we got to give this race a rating. I don't have anything to look off of, but
you don't have the past ones?
No, it's at the house on my books.
See, I think I have mine and not yours because you were keeping.
It's okay. I already know what I want to give this race.
You know what? I have a bunch of yours actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I have all of yours written down in ink and paper.
Old school.
Dude, you gave ATL an 8.9.
I like the Atlanta race.
Dude, 8.9.
I was also still on post race buzz.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go back and revise some of these.
I watched the July Atlanta race on TV and I'm like, this sucks.
Did you really? That's funny.
No, I'm saying watch me.
Let's see. All right. What are you gonna give it?
I'm giving this race a 8.3.
An 8.3?
Yes.
You thought it was that much worse than Atlanta?
Oh my god.
God, dude.
You weren't there.
What did you give Talladega?
I don't remember, man.
Yeah.
It was somewhere in the 8s, I think.
Talladega was a blur, man.
It was all.
Oh yeah, that's true. Y'all were there.
We browned out the whole weekend.
Let's see.
Yeah, who won?
You know what? I'm gonna go an 8.6.
Oof. I feel like
I was a big fan of this race, dude.
I did like it. I feel like if I was there, it was straight up like an 8-9.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
Yeah.
No, I was a huge fan of this one. This is up there with Auto Club for my two favorites so far.
It was a good race. I think these cars fare well on
Actually,
older
I think
surfaces.
I gave Auto Club an 8.6 also.
Older surfaces, older tracks. Yep. This car is meant to be. I really wish I could see what this car would have done on old Atlanta.
Yeah, and by the way, that's great to have a car that runs well on old tracks. Like you said, I wish we didn't revise some of these repave some of these tracks because with this car, seems like they do great. You
want to take that straight into talking about what we think of Throwback Weekend?
Yes.
Good segue.
Yes. All right. What are your thoughts on Throwback?
So
I think Nick said 8-1.
I think we all think Throwback Weekend was a good idea. Yes. It could be done a little better year to year. However, with the number placement, the new cars, this and that, I feel like this was one of the rustiest of less enthused Throwback Weekends. And I feel like there's so many implications. You have the split of two races now. Throwback Weekend's one, right. 7500's another. Okay, there's that. There's the number placement on the cars. So now not all the schemes look right. Some are different, some are other. It's their own little twist on them. and some look really good, and some look like dog shit. Also, it's a 400-mile race. I don't know. It's Mother's Day weekend. Me being a family man as I am, you as well. Not everybody can go.
Trust me, I'm going to talk about that.
Not
in the good, the bad, and
everybody
the ugly.
can go or make it. We got shit to do. We got family shit to go on. We can't just drop all that and go to a NASCAR race. We'll be beheaded. To me, it just was like, man, this one just ain't it. And then it seemed like probably 80% of the teams did a throwback. There was plenty of cars that just ran a normal scheme. RCR, the 19. Yeah. There's usually teams that have badass throwbacks that didn't even do one.
Number 3 always has the best throwback, and they just didn't do it.
I thought Kevin's was pathetic.
Which, by the way, I did like the RCR paint scheme. I know it wasn't throwback, but the Huck like white with the
it looked good. That looked good at like Talladega.
Yeah, that was actually a clean paint scheme. Like kind of what you were saying. Seems like last year it was kind of losing its luster, and this year it seemed almost like an afterthought.
Like, oh shit, yeah, throwback. Oh, fuck.
I have steps on how to fix the throwback week if you want to hear them. I've written out some bullet points here.
Okay.
All right, number 1, require every single team to run a throwback scheme.
Yeah,
no more bullshit where it's like, we'll do it. Maybe like, no. If you're coming here, you're running a fucking throwback scheme. It's not that hard. Get it done.
Yeah, like this is a requirement.
Right. Number 2. They have to follow the like time period that NASCAR gives them.
Yeah, they kind of did that for like they've tried
since like day 1 when they started this.
Yeah.
And they're like,
this is the decade we're going for. Or something.
Yeah, and what was it like 80s or something this year? Like
I don't even know.
That's what I'm saying.
There's like no guidelines.
Exactly. They need to come up with like a formula on how this works. So give a time period and say you can only submit paint schemes from this time period. We decline anything else. Yes. Number 3, this one I don't think everybody will agree with me on, but I am a stickler for this. You have to use a paint scheme that your team previously ran. Ooh. Or the car ran, maybe a team bought a different number or something. That's fine. You can just essentially, it has to be your number or within your team's organization.
I would say I'm cool with either that team or that sponsor.
Yeah. That's fine too. Yeah. Because like, okay, Trackhouse, right? I loved what they did, by the way. If
they clean sweep the freaking weekend somehow,
right, which I should probably
Chase Elliott's sponsor that didn't even run.
I was just gonna say we got to bring up the fact that Chase Elliott won the throwback and it didn't run. It was a cool scheme, but it didn't even run. I mean, even with it, if it did run, I don't know how it beat out either of the Trackhouse cars. But at the end of the day, it kind of bugged me because I was like, y'all are just kind of like ripping off the Earnhardt thing, but that's not your team. Like you can't just, okay, here's a good example.
It was a good nod.
Here's a good example. The NBA does throwback games, right? It's not like the Lakers are going to suddenly wear Utah Jazz jerseys and be like, yo, throwback. And you'd be like, throwback, what? And it's like, well, we just like the Utah Jazz jerseys, so we're wearing them. Like, no, when you do throwback, you have to do your team's throwback. It just seems weird that you can even cross over. I don't know how that's even allowed or encouraged. Moving on, move the number back just for the throwback scheme is fine.
I'm okay with put the number wherever the fuck you want.
No. But just for the throwback scheme, I do think it should look as much like the original. Well, like I said, I don't care for the rest of the rate or like for the rest of the season, whatever. I've kind of gotten over it, but just for the throwback, let's just move it back to the middle for one race.
I'm okay with like, hey, if you want to run it back to the rear, run it in the front, run it in the middle.
If you're using a throwback paint scheme that goes all the way back to the old dirt days and the number was somewhere else, sure. Yeah. I just think it should look as much like the original paint scheme as possible. And when the numbers moved, it just kind of throws off the whole paint scheme.
Right, because that's not dog shit.
Yeah, you're like, that's not really how it looked. Like, that's how the hood looked, but like when you're coming down the panel,
it's like, oh wow, this is fake.
And that's pretty much it. And then the last thing is just kind of like maybe like encourage teams, or maybe the NASCAR can do it, but like sell more like throwback merch. Like why is there not
always have some sick throwback merch, and some teams are like, yeah, we're not doing that.
Well, Harvick always does sick merch, but most other teams don't. Like Harvick does merch for cool paint schemes, which is always badass. I love that they do that. But like Trackhouse, start selling that merch, dude. Like people would eat that shit up. The Coca-Cola throwback stuff, that's huge. They need to promote shit more.
Well, Dalton was telling me about apparently like Coca-Cola like refuses to like put their name on or their content with diecast. And me and Dalton made a bet because I said if Ross Chastain wins the race, I guarantee you they make a race version. He said Coca-Cola won't let them. I said, you don't think that's going to surpass it? He said no, and we bet, and I think I ended up losing. But
yeah, I mean, if Coke has that like as a legal thing,
Coke, I think it's like a Coke, and same thing with Monster. That's why I don't make all these Monster diecasts. It's like Coke's like, no, we don't do that.
Yeah, I mean that's stupid. I don't know why you would say.
Yeah,
that.
I have no idea why they wouldn't, but it's like a thing they do.
Well, and ideally, like Nick said, ideally, just have one Darlington race throwback on Southern 500. I know it's too much to ask for, but like that would be sick.
Yeah, well, I think we had a good thing going with just one Darlington Southern 500 throwback. I get
under the lights.
Sponsors don't necessarily all want to do throwbacks. It's the playoffs. It's like the big money race, and now all of a sudden they have to do something different than what they paid for.
Right.
I get trying to divide it up. I just think it makes it messy.
Yeah,
I like the Southern 500 throwback race. Now we have a throwback race and a Southern 500. And I'm wondering when we go to Southern 500, like, is it going to be weird? Is it going to be different? Are people still going to, like, want to dress up throwback? Or are people going to want to still run a scheme? Or, like, is it going to be awkward?
I mean, we went to the Southern 500 when it wasn't throwback.
No, last year it was throwback, too.
Was it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm like 80% sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all in or nothing. Like, they needed to go all in, everybody throwback, throw the merch out, fucking.
Yeah, they need to put shit behind it.
Don't do it.
Right.
Yeah,
that's my opinion. You know.
Yeah.
Takes by Ronnie D.
Yeah.
Also, back in the day, Southern 500 throwback under the lights, sitting in the back stretch. That was the shit.
Did you see that they didn't even have back stretch?
No, they covered them. Yeah. They covered it up. And I'm
wondering if that's what they're going to do for the Southern 500.
My bachelor party was me and all my friends sitting in the backstretch for the throwback weekend at Southern 500 under the lights. Like, that's how much I loved that shit. That was my bachelor party. It was fucking awesome. And seeing it covered on the backstretch, I was like, man, those were like the coolest seats. It was so. Have you sat in the backstretch?
No, never.
It's really old. Like it feels like a carnival.
Even the front stretch is old.
Right, but the backstretch is even like shittier and older.
It's like
and you're like walking up stairs that are like falling,
dude.
And then you get tar in your teeth when the cars come by. Like it was awesome,
dude. I sat in old Daytona bleachers when it was fucking wooden seats.
Ooh, nice.
Like way like 04 Daytona, and it was badass. Like, wow, this is like old school shit.
Okay, Nick is saying that he thinks it was the throwback.
Yeah, I thought last year they had the old school the throwback.
Maybe. I'm gonna have to look into this anyway.
Yeah, because I went on pit road and took a picture of the car. I remember it.
Okay. Yeah, that was the one we were at on pit road, right?
Yeah.
You had the hot passes.
Yep.
Was that throwback? Are you sure?
Yeah, it was like it was the mix up before this year. It was like. It's throwback, and it's the playoff.
Yeah, because not everybody was doing it. It was really already kind of
that was a mess in itself as too. It's
Yeah,
like they need to be like, hey, it's throwback. You're making a fucking throwback, so you better make a fucking scheme.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We're not playing.
All right, good, bad, the ugly.
Ooh, gosh, jeez, good. Darlington. It was great racing. Good old Darlington, classic Darlington race.
Yeah. No, I think I agree. The good was the racing. This was easily in the top 3 for me so far this year. So I know it's kind of boring to say the good was the race, but when the race is that good, that's what I got to bring up.
Yeah, no, it was a great race through and through. Ronnie, even fucking watched it. Ronnie texted me, he was like, I'm watching the race.
It was good.
Yeah, Ronnie watched it like at his own house on his own accord. So it was great. It was a good race. And with a great finish too. Whether you like Joey or not, it was a fucking good race. Rolling straight into the bad. I want to say almost like we've just been beating a dead horse was like it just didn't seem like Throwback Weekend was taken serious.
Yeah. That's a good one.
See, like Throwback Weekend, it seemed like it was almost like a joke. Like it was like, yeah, throwback, whatever. We've been doing this 8 years now. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, that's a good bad. Yeah. My bad was the start time. I know I kind of went off on Twitter about this.
Yeah.
3:30 start time on Mother's Day is awful.
Also, we didn't even talk about competing with F1 exactly.
Right. So that's what I was going to get into. Yeah. First of all, I don't think I would have had this take last year when I wasn't a dad. But now that I'm married to a mom, I'm like, oh, you can't do that. 3:30. I mean, I texted you because you were texting me about the race. Halfway through stage 2, I had to leave to go to dinner with my family, like for Mother's Day dinner. And thankfully, I just put my phone away completely. So I had no idea what happened. It worked out perfectly. But it was just a bummer because I was like, well, this sucks, dude. It's at 3:30. My recommendation, and we can talk about the F1 thing, but my recommendation was, fuck it, dude. Do a 9 a.m. start time. And I know that sounds just insane, maybe even 10 a.m. But moms sleep in on Mother's Day. Dads are up doing house chores. Perfect time. You got the house to yourself while everybody's sleeping in.
World.
Everybody's sleeping in. You're doing little house chores. I'm like washing the dishes. I was just spending like the whole morning washing dishes and shit. And I'm, Samantha's in bed with the baby. And I'm like, man, it would be fucking perfect right now to have the race on. Like, I got the house to myself.
Early.
3:30 is such a bad time on Mother's Day.
Right.
And like you said, I don't know if they planned this far in advance, but they had to compete with F1. Have we looked up the viewership numbers yet? Because
I'm sure it's coming out. If it didn't come out today, I'm sure it's coming out like
you're gonna have to owe me some merch. I mean,
yeah, we're gonna have to we got a bet going, don't we?
I'm very certain you're gonna owe me. Does Ronnie know about this bet? Tell Ronnie the bet.
So we bet. Well, I'm still in the running here. I mean,
you still think you're gonna be right?
Yes. I bet that NASCAR would beat out F1's Miami
in terms of viewership.
In viewerships, they release it every week on like so and so had this many viewers and so and so had this many viewers, and it'll be like 4 million versus 2 million. And I bet that NASCAR would have more viewers than the F1 race in Miami. And I'll tell you, that was the third F1 race I've kind of watched. And I loved all the pre-race and all the antics and everything going into it.
Commentary.
I watched like the first 10 laps flipping between NASCAR and it, and then I never turned it back to F1.
That's the thing. Yeah, their like presentation, their pageantry, their
great.
broadcasting.
But the race in itself was like, yeah, this is whatever, man.
Right. No, they make it feel like a spectacle that you're like, oh shit,
awesome.
like I need to tune into this.
Oh,
and then you start watching.
I was like, this is what NASCAR should be doing.
Yeah, you start watching like 5 laps in, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go wash the dishes or mow the lawn or something.
Yeah,
like, what am I still doing here?
Every time I tuned in, it was the same guy leading, and his lead was just more. And I was like, all right, I've seen enough of this.
Yeah, and Nick's got a good point too. I mean, it was on FS1, which is already. I don't know why you took that bet.
Because I'm a risk taker. Okay?
All right, man.
You could have bet on the last horse and won.
Kentucky Derby, dude. Yeah.
See, Dakota, what you should have done is like been like, if you win, I'll buy you a koozie. But if I win, you got to buy me like a hoodie or something. I still probably would have gone for that.
I still might win. I don't know.
I don't know why you went. You're not going to win.
That gave a fuck about that race was at that race, so they're not watching
going to win. Are we talking about like? No, I don't even care. It's straight viewership. You're going to get crushed. I don't know why.
The ugly of the weekend.
The ugly. What do you got?
I don't want to keep like harping on it because I don't even think it was that bad.
It's gonna be the same thing. I'm gonna say
it was.
Is it the booth?
I honestly was surprised with the booth.
All right, so here's why it's the ugly for me.
My ugly was electing to put Richard Petty in the booth.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was gonna say. Like
Bobby Labonte killed and Bill Elliott surprised the fuck out of me.
Yeah, right. I mean, look, stage 2 I think was still kind of a cluster. I still was like, it's just stage 2 was still a cluster. Bobby Labonte did good, but
Bill Elliott blew it out of the water, dude. I thought he did great.
Right. Bill Elliott at the end in stage 3, I was like, we were joking about how he has no personality. He's kind of dud.
Cracking me up.
He was funny.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, Willie B's like, got this wrapped up.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, shut up.
Yeah, and he was like, Joey's catching up to him.
Yeah. Dude, that just cracked me up.
That shit was funny. I was actually laughing. And he was really insightful too. He was giving like really good feedback. He clearly still understands the sport. He still clearly understands these cars.
I don't even think Richard Petty was like took 3 breaths.
Dude, Richard Petty was bad, man.
Why he was in there? I mean, whatever.
I know why. They're going for the Hall of Fame thing. And that's cool. I was worried Bill Elliott was going to be just as bad as Richard Petty, if not worse.
Yeah.
So you're right. It wasn't as bad as I thought, but stage 2 was a cluster for me, and stage 1 was just god awful to the point that I was like, dude, someone help this old man out of this room because he doesn't belong here. I know me and Jacob got into like a huge argument about that. He was like, show some respect for the king. And I was like, I can respect what he does on the track and still fucking hate his guts in the booth.
Roddy said, I can't believe y'all talk about the king that way.
Well, when the king fucking doesn't know where he is. Like,
when the king has got one foot in the grave.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was comparing him to Joe Biden, but I was like, I'm not trying to be like,
where's there?
I'm not trying to be a political or be a dick or anything, but he reminded me of Joe Biden when he was talking. He was like, oh yeah, when I went down to the, and you're just like, dude, you haven't been in a car in how long?
Legs on my
yeah. They're rubbing my legs. Like, how long has it been since that dude's been in a race car? I'm sorry. I just, I don't care how old you are. You can be a fucking 100 years old. And if you're out there racing, I'd love to hear what you have to say. But if you haven't been in a car in 50 years, like, I might want to hear from somebody else. I think Bill was maybe a little bit more insightful because at least he still has a son that's like, very active racing.
Well, they were harping when Bill was in the booth. They were harping on Chase the whole time too.
Yeah,
like, there he is.
I will say, like, I feel like brought it up more than Bill did.
Yeah.
I don't think Bill was that bad.
Like, yeah, dude, I get it.
Whatever. Yeah, there only once that I can remember when Chase passed. Who was it? Was it Suarez and someone else? He passed two guys at the same time.
Two guys in one corner. I remember that. God,
yeah, and he came down there 3 wide, and that was the only time when Bill was just like, "Yeah, I like to see that," because and that was it. And I was like, "That's not that bad." No, it's his son. So I was surprised. I'm like, fucking, let's get Bill up in there more because I was impressed.
Hey, high notables. Tyler Reddick gets the quiet P2 that no one talked about, and Justin Haley career high finish. Well, not career high. I guess he won. Whatever. Gets a solid P3. Justin Haley got up there and finished third in a collie car. Like that was.
And how much did you love their post race interviews?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's probably my OC. Was Fox doing no post race interviews? Like, do they care to get it re-signed to a contract? I don't know.
Yeah, they're like, quick, go to the USFL, which
they do the winners interview on street, and then they just fucking cut the broadcast.
Go to USFL, which has less fan base.
Like, they just won the fucking national championship, and then they're like, "Hey, Kirby," and just cut the fucking feed. Yeah, like you'd be flipping the fuck out. Hey, what the? Yeah.
No, the worst. Here's the worst part. If they had to cut to some crazy shit like the Super Bowl, I'd be like, they cut to USFL. There is less fans at a USFL game than a WNBA game. I swear to God. Like, no one fucking cares about that.
Yeah, there's like 6 people there.
Right. No one cares. Like, dude, no one cares about this sport. This race just ended, and it was a crazy finish. Yeah. Like, you need to interview a couple of these guys, not just Joey and Willie B.
Yep. Totally agree, dude.
Yeah, it's too bad. It was too bad because Reddick and Justin Haley would have had good things to say.
Oh, yeah. I need post race interviews. I'm take them out of Victory Lane, do top 5 interviews. That's all I want. I can't wait for NBC.
I mean, yeah, they're still not perfect though.
Set the bar so low, NBC just hits.
That's the thing. They're still not perfect. Like, we do this every year where we're like, man, can't wait for NBC, and then we'll get 4 races into NBC and be like, fuck this, they suck too.
I like NBC, dude. They all they do is do what they're supposed to do.
They are better, but I still think they fuck up. I think their booth is a lot better, and that's where. But I think their camera work still is not perfect.
Yeah, camera work, but that's not. I mean,
that's literally watching the race.
Oh man, but hey, that was Darlington. That was Throwback race. What a banger! Can't wait to be there in the fall. It'll be Chairgatin does it back. Rattlesnake's Bon Voyage.
Wait, what?
It's your birthday that week.
Bon voyage. Do you know what that means?
That means you're selling off.
Yeah, that means I'm leaving. Yeah, that means I would be leaving.
That means bye to this past year and hello to a new year, dude.
You actually made that work, surprisingly. I didn't think you would.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can admit that you just learned a new word today. That's fine.
I have heard bon voyage.
Jesus, what does it mean?
He thought it meant happy birthday. He thought it was French for happy birthday.
Oh, my God.
Dakota, I love you so much. All right, we got Kansas coming up.
Kansas, Jesus Christ. Kansas. I don't even know.
There's no place like home.
No place like home. You've been to Kansas. I was telling Felicia, I was like, I kind of want to go to Kansas.
Love Kansas.
Never been there.
Samantha just brought it up. She was like, "Man, I'm bummed that we're not going back to Kansas. Like, it is
you're not out there, girl.
It is one of the more fun races to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all, you need to make it work, especially with a family. Like Luna would love it. Felicia would love it. It's a great time for the family.
Oh Lord, you don't know Felicia.
No, she would love it. I promise. She wouldn't go to the race. That's why she'd love it.
Yeah, probably.
There's a strip mall or the outlet mall that's built right next to the track.
Yeah, it sounds badass.
And they have the what is that? The Great Wolf Lodge there.
So like, I remember Kyle Busch won the spring race Kansas last year. I can't remember the fall race.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think. Was it Joey?
Denny Hamlin?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Have you ever been to a Great Wolf Lodge? Those things are fucking badass, dude. Yeah, kids love that shit.
I didn't know there was more than one.
There's more than one.
Yeah, they got a couple of them. Yeah, dude, the Great Wolf Lodge you can see from the track. Like, so you can like drop off the kids, the wife can go shopping or whatever, and then you can literally walk to the track. It's like across the parking lot. It's badass. It sounds
like an ultimate family experience.
That's what I'm saying.
Kansas is underrated for a mile and a half.
They have an MLS stadium right there. So if you're a fan of like soccer or something, I don't know.
Isn't what they're crying about with the Nashville Fairgrounds?
Yeah, exactly. And Kansas has built it up perfectly. I don't know why.
Too much.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to Kansas. I mean, there's not much to say. We'll see. We'll see how it is.
No place like home. That's what you said. Kansas, man. It's Kansas.
I think it could put on a good race.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a good race. And all these tracks we see for the first time with the next gen is just, to me, is all like a big, like, unknown.
That's the thing. I think Kansas will put on a good race.
I do too.
I'm feeling real confident. Do you want to do some at the line picks?
Yeah. I'm going to roll us in the lineup one. I was already thinking about it. And we're just going to go straight from Darlington straight to Kansas. At the line picks, our first round, who you got? The 11 car of Denny Hamlin or the 1 car of Ross Chastain?
Oh, that's a good one. Let's see. I'm going to go Ross and hope he doesn't wreck.
Well, Denny Hamlin's luck has just been so bizarre this year, it seems. He's like got speed clearly, but God, they can't put it together. So I'm going to pick the 1 of Ross as well. Ross is so hot right now. And that car is literally, to me, is like class of the field week in and week out.
He is Kyle Larson from last year.
Yeah. Well, Larson had like 10 wins.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, like, remember how we were just picking him every single week because he was just like the best?
That's what it's becoming.
Hot. That's what it's becoming.
Fast every week.
Right. Last year it was like Denny Hamlin or Kyle Larson every single week.
Ronnie just picked Hamlin, so God knows what he's doing. And that will take us into our next lineup. We're going to go with our YRB, Ryan Blaney. Ooh. Or, oh my gosh, the 5 car of Kyle Larson. Last year they pushed each other into 1 and 2 all the way to the fence and wrecked.
Ooh, yeah. That's another good one.
Yeah.
That is another good one because I could see Blaney sneaking in there. I'm gonna go Blaney.
That's good. I feel like Larson's almost got like some kind of voodoo on him.
Exactly. That's why I picked Blaney.
He's fast, but he ain't last year fast.
Yep.
He's solid. He's
getting caught up in shit now, and it's like
it's kind of just like has some woes going on.
You know what?
And Ryan Blaney's Ryan Blaney.
You know what? I bet Blaney gets a stage win.
Blaney's clicking off stage.
He is the stage win king, dude. He can't win, but he can win stages.
Well, what a terrible take by Nick right there. Oh my God. Ford's been lacking speed as Ford just fucking won the last race.
Yeah, come on.
So I'm gonna take Blaney as well. YRB. I think he's so hot on the mile and a half. He's subliminally just like right there, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, like every week. He's kind of just waiting in the shadows, it seems. I bet he clicks off wins soon. I'm taking the 12 car as well. And that will take us into our 3rd round of at the line picks. What none the other than the 24 of William Byron or the 22 of Joey Logano. Joey is so hot right now. He's got so much momentum. I think Willie B just made himself look like a bitch.
Yep. Exactly.
I bet Willie B runs 9th and Joey gets like a another win or second.
That's kind of like the whole reason I just picked Joey, because I was like, honestly, Willoughby kind of looks like a bitch to me. I need him to get another win before I can really look at him as like a real contender again. I know it sounds dumb, but
yeah. Yeah, that's my picks, and that will take us straight to our winner and underdog picks. You son of a bitch.
Hey, I just cracked open a new one.
God, Jesus.
I know you're getting tired because you're yawning.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You gotta keep him up, dude.
God, I know he's such a baby.
That's such a bad influence. God damn.
Oh, that's a good one. Willie B. Bitch.
Ooh.
Nice name.
Willie Bitch.
All right. How about you start out?
All right. We're gonna go with underdog pick of the week. And I feel like I should go none the other. 2 top 10s in a row. I'm going with the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Yeah, dude.
He's rolling off some speed. He's been doing good. And I could totally see him getting a top 5 here.
Yeah. I gotta go with my amigo, Daniel Suarez.
Wow. That shit cracks me up.
Yeah, dude. Suarez has got to get it done, man. He needs to step up for Trackhouse. He was supposed to be like the leader of that team. That team has now turned into Ross's team, and Suarez kind of needs.
I've heard a lot of like, dude, Ross is kicking ass, and Daniel's just kind of like there, man. And
I mean, he's been doing
when Ross
good.
got out, Daniel drove all the way up to 4th. And I was like, Daniel's there, dude.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
there.
Like, he's been doing good, but he is getting way overshadowed by Ross.
He fell off. He's getting overshadowed by Ross and Ross's height, but Daniel's still plugging along.
He's still doing good. Like, that's the thing. And so he needs to get a win, though. He needs to step up so he can also get a win. So he's not like, look, it's not only Ross. Like, I'm part of this team, too. I can get wins. Yeah. Also, I do like that Eric Jones pick because that Jones boy has been doing pretty good.
Yeah, he was literally sitting really good Johnson before he got in that race.
Yeah, and I've always liked Eric Jones, so I'm happy to see him do well.
Honestly, he's grown on me in the 43.
Yeah,
I like him better in the 43 than I did when he was in the 20.
Exactly. When he went to the 43, I was like, good for him. I hope he does well because he got kicked out of his ride.
They're plugging along. I don't know if it's the GMS merger, but like they're plugging along that 43.
It's definitely the GMS.
has been irrelevant, but the 43's got some speed.
I mean, it's Ty Dillon, first of all, and he will peek his head up a couple times. Where you're like, whoa, is that Ty Dillon in the top 10? And then he just kind of falls back again. But it's definitely GMS because that car is looking a lot better than it did. I mean, the past fucking 8 years?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. And that will take me into my winner of the race. Not a fan favorite. Not everybody's going to like it, but I'm taking the 18 car of Kyle Busch. I
was gonna pick Kyle fucking Busch.
I had no idea you were gonna pick him.
I know you didn't, but I really was like in the back of my head.
I'm taking 18. He's had speed. He's had some bad woes, but I think Kansas just kind of sits right in his wheelhouse for capitalizing. He'll probably be hiding 3rd, 4th, 5th the whole race, and all of a sudden somebody's gonna have a pit road penalty, and boom, Kyle Busch is gonna strike and get the dub.
Yeah, no, that's a great pick. That was gonna be my pick.
What did I say? 18 and 47. I'll write those down when I get
home. Ronnie's a Chase Elliott fan, right?
Hell, well, no, he's like
I like a Blaney. I like a Chase.
No, he's a Ryan Blaney fan, and he likes Chase. That's how it goes.
All right, I'll pick Chase Elliott for Ronnie.
You're going to hell, man.
My boy.
Does Ronnie know about some potential merch he might be receiving?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm extremely excited.
It's fucking awesome, dude.
Hell yeah. Dude.
I was surprised when Dakota picked that as one of his shirts. I was like, really? Because like that, I even told Samantha, I was like, I bet he's gonna pick these shirts, and I picked the other two that you picked, and I picked another one because I was like, oh, Dakota definitely isn't gonna want this one. And then you texted me that, and I was like, okay, wow.
Yeah, that wasn't for me.
No, it is actually one of the cooler shirts, though.
Yeah, no, I'm stoked.
Yeah, it's a dope shirt. They're really nice. They're like comfort colors and like thick too. They're really really nice shirts.
Yeah, he's been talking about. He's like, I gotta get one of those shirts. He hates Kyle Busch.
Yeah, I hope I get to wear it before Sunday so I can rub it in Dakota's face.
I'm sending out tomorrow, so yeah, you should.
Yeah,
dude.
When we get home.
Yeah, and if Chase wins,
when next day he comes, he can wear it.
Oh, if Chase wins, we need to post a picture with Ronnie in it too. Like,
Oh yeah,
off. That'd be great.
That'll be great.
Yep. And Dakota, you're getting one of these, but yours is the eat ass one, of course.
Sounds appropriate.
Yep. Yeah. So
shout out Old Row, man.
Shout out Old Row hooked us up fat. We're going to be doing, we forgot to do the live giveaway, but whatever. We'll do one on social media this week.
Social media, Nick, check our social media and for any type of giveaways.
Yeah. Nick, don't worry. You're going to get some shit. Yeah, we'll do some giveaways on social media. We have so much shit to give away from Old Row. So shout out to Old Row. Thanks for hooking us up. And if you are in the area, you're planning on going to the All-Star race at Texas Motor Speedway in 2 weeks, definitely look into, is it 2 weeks now? I guess it's Kansas then.
Kansas and All-Star, yeah.
Anyway, definitely look into Old Row, their pit party, live music, BYOB, infield pit passes. Like,
speaking of Wet Willies, I mean, dude, fucking Old Row infield party tailgate. Like, if you're trying to, get your knob gobble, dude, check out Old Row's pit party in the infield of Texas. Wet and wild. It's always bigger in Texas. I wish we were there. We're definitely gonna have to regroup with them because it's gonna be fucking lit.
Yeah, no, I mean that's why I was talking to them and I was like, look, I just want to help you promote your shit because I think our audience would actually like your stuff. Like what they're doing, throwing infield parties at races, selling fucking badass shirts with Dale, shooting turkeys. I was like, this is our audience. This is what we need. So I'm loving this partnership that we have with them right now. And of course, pick up your pair of Yeats at yeatsofficial.com, 10% off. Chairgatin, you can look like Dalton Good if you get this pair right here.
Hey.
Oh, Ronnie in the back looking fresh to death. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Anything else, Dakota?
No, it's been good. Let's go to Kansas, see another mile and a half right before the All-Star. Y'all have fun watching the race this weekend. And as always, can't wait to fucking tune in next week and give y'all our bullshit opinions.
Can get drunk again on a Monday. Ronnie, thanks for stopping by.
Going drunk on a Monday.
On a Monday.
Cheers, boy.
Cheers.
Holla, y'all.
Peace.